That's a question for Scott, Pam.
I know, I'll send it an email.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. The board meeting for Playa del Sol Association, Tuesday, February 3rd, 2025, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the Ocean Lounge and via Zoom. Scott, can you please confirm that we have proof of notice?
You want to do a roll call?
Oh, yes, okay. Barbara, can you please do roll call?
Yes, Eski Barimi,
Present.
Bill Valerio,
Here.
Denise DeLuise.
Here.
Alex McAllis.
Here.
Mark Jara.
Here.
Jose Benaforte.
Here.
Mark Savali here.
And I'd like to also note that for First Services representing is Scott and Isabella. Okay, Scott, can you please confirm that the proof of notice as per Florida statutes has been posted accordingly?
Yes, I confirm that the notice of tonight's Board of Directors meeting was posted at least 48 hours prior to today's meeting.
Okay, moving along for the approval of minutes, we have a few due to certainly active meetings the last couple of months. We have for 11/20/25.
Approval of the agenda.
Yes. Thank you. Do I have approval for tonight's agenda?
I motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Second that.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving along to number 3, the approval of minutes. We have 11/20, the Board of Director meeting minutes for 11/20/25, 12/9/2025, 12/22/25, as well as the budget meeting minutes for 11/18/2025, as well as 12/9/2025. By motion to approve as written and supplied.
I will motion.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, moving along, for officer reports, we'll start with the President's report. February 2026 President's report. Fellow association members, as part of this month's update, I'd like to share the current status of several key initiatives underway at Playa del Sol. Elevators. We continue to work through the liquidated damages process with legal and the elevator contractor, and we are being appropriately aggressive in closing out punch list items. Elevator 4, for those who have not visited, is now released, has been released this week, so that's certainly exciting. Barbara's noted that it does go up and down, and it's
The doors closed.
Sideways, right?
Good, and we are anticipating elevator number 5 to be estimated within the next week and a half to 2 weeks for go live. And after which there will be a full focus to shift to resolve all remaining punch list items across all the elevators. Life safety, BDA and fire sprinklers. Many of you are aware that we're moving forward with the BDA and fire sprinkler projects. Technicians are actively mapping units to identify sprinkler as well as speaker entry points, and many of you have already seen those technicians coming into your units. This work is necessary to meet fire marshal requirements and associated deadlines, and we are appreciative of everyone's cooperation as this progresses. Roof project. This evening, the board will be finalizing the next pivotal step related to the roof project. This is a much needed effort and is a pivotal step in the continued major projects effort. On a personal note, many of you reached out with kind words and surprise regarding my decision to withdraw my candidacy for the upcoming board year. While board service can certainly be thankless at times, I have personally found it very fulfilling. After much reflection, I decided to take a pause and believe my time will be best served moving forward as an active owner. Over the past 4 years serving as a PDS board, on the PDS board, including as president, we have navigated post-COVID challenges, leadership transitions, the move from self-management, and the launch of several major projects. Some have been completed under budget, others are nearing completion, and additional projects will continue to move forward on the path we've set. It was truly never a dull moment. There have also been occasions where interactions became disrespectful, including being spoken to in ways no volunteer should reasonably expect amongst a leadership team. Even so, my decisions were always made with the association's best interests in mind. I am proud of the progress made and confident in the direction of the association. I wish the board, the upcoming board, and the community continued success and appreciate the support I've received along the way. Warm regards, Mark Jarrett, President.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, treasurer's report, please.
Hi there. I'm Hesni Brahimi, your treasurer. And this is the treasurer's report for February 3rd, 2026. As of the end of the year, we had 933,000 in operating cash, 3.0 million in the special assessment account, and 7.1 million in our combined reserves. So that's a total of $11 million, which is down from 11.16 million in November. If you recall, we expected to use $165,000 of our owner's equity towards the 2025 budget. We wound up using only 100,000. So we had a slight surplus last year of 64,000. This owner's equity is monies left over throughout the year. So last year we started with $616,000 of monies that are just in the account. And this year we're left with 516,000. And for the 2026 budget, we're planning on using another 160,000 of that, which we'll probably just use a portion of it. So it's monies that are there that we might as well at least tap into partially. As Mark said, the life safety support system, the ELSS contracts, have all been executed and work has commenced in the planning and phasing of the projects. For your information, these bids came all within our estimates, and that's including portions allowed for project management and engineering. So as far as that was a bit of good news that those projects came in according to budget. One other bit of good news were our roofing contracts. We had earmarked $2 million for our roofing job, and we're about to sign a letter of intent with our preferred contractor, and that's coming in at 1.6 million plus a little extra for drains and scuppers. So that's about $300,000 to $400,000 less. With this said, we expect to have about $500,000 of leftover monies in our special assessment account. So that can go towards any kind of shortfall we have in future projects, which is mainly the cooling tower. The cooling tower is coming in a little higher than we expected, despite doing some value engineering, and now we're going to put it out to a rebid, having narrowed down our focus and scope of work. So we're hoping that could reduce the cost, and with the extra monies that we have in the special assessment account, we'd all have to vote to reassign that monies to different purposes. So as you know, this year we split the reserve balances, the reserve accounts into two components. One is the Sears, which is the structural integrity reserve reserve account, which is like for structural systems and plumbing systems and electrical systems for the building. And the other is non-Sears, which is more for stuff that the building can operate without those systems. And then the building won't be put in jeopardy if those systems aren't being replaced. So the current balance of the non-Sears reserves is 1.68 million, and for the Sears reserves is 5.42 million. Counterintuitively, the cooling tower is a non-serious item. The state believes that we can survive without air conditioning. And, that's gonna be tight. And our latest estimates for the HVAC, project is way above, what we have there. And, despite a portion of it being paid for from Sears, which is the HVAC risers. So, I would also like to thank the committee, especially Mike Sisto and Sandra Roy, for their invaluable help in overseeing the association's finances and for preparing easily digestible monthly financial reports that are posted on Building Link. So every month, Mike, takes these complicated financial statements and, prepares a brief summary that everybody can quickly look at and, get a picture of our finances. So, we're completely, open as far as, our financial situation over here. So with this said, this concludes the February 3rd, treasurer's report.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
well, Pesky.
Moving along. Moving along for the manager's report. Scott?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. So I wanted to do something a little bit different this evening, for everybody. Normally I show kind of what we've been doing on the maintenance side from the last meeting to the current meeting, but, instead, what I'm gonna show today is kind of what we've been finding on the maintenance side over the past 2 years since First Service has come on the property. Kind of what some of the incorrect things that have been happening over the years and what we're doing to actually correct it and make these things right. So just a couple examples I'm gonna show you, and this is not everything. This is just a handful of the things that we've been finding. So as everybody knows, we have, issues with cast iron pipe in the building that it likes to crack as it gets older. And what we've been noticing is previously the way, unfortunately, maintenance staff has been correcting cracked cast iron pipe is they've been filling the cracks with liquid nails and then painting the pipe with Flex Seal. And I think you've all seen those late night commercials where the guy paints the bottom of the boat with Flex Seal and drives off. So obviously this is not the correct way to fix cast iron pipes, right? Again, here's more pictures of, you can see the pipe painted black where Flex Seal and liquid nails are used, additional pipes, more piping. And this is one of my favorite ones. So we found this pipe. I believe this one was coming out of it was near the arts and crafts room. What happened was this was a crack pipe, and they took some kind of cushion, wrapped it around the crack pipe, zip tied the cushion so the cushion would stay in place, and then wrapped plastic around the pipe. Okay, so this stuff unfortunately happens when there's not proper oversight on certain departments. So this is what First Service has been bringing in the past 2 years, is bringing that proper oversight on all these departments, and especially with maintenance, with the hiring of Rodney as the chief engineer. He's the one that's finding these things. And a lot of those previous pictures that I've showed everybody is us going in now a second time, having to repair this pipe because it wasn't done the first time. So this is not how you save the association money, by filling in pipes with liquid nails and painting over it. Because now we have to spend the labor to open up walls again, cut out these pipes, put in new cast iron pipes. So it's costing us twice as much money to make these fixes. And who knows how many more of these pipes are in the walls that were fixed like this. So it's gonna be a matter of time until we find out, okay, we got a cracked pipe behind the wall, whether it was one of these rig jobs or if it's a new pipe that was cracked. We did try talking to maintenance about this on why was this your procedure for fixing pipes? Now, again, not saying every pipe was fixed like that. I don't want to say every single pipe, but obviously by the pictures, you can see it was happening. And they were told that they were instructed to fix it that way. Now, they didn't mention if it was a previous property manager, a previous board member or board that directed them to fix these things this way, or if that was just their excuse so they wouldn't get in trouble. But either way, um, things aren't gonna be fixed like this moving forward. Okay, so here, liquid nails and Flex Seal, right? Again, you're not saving the association money by fixing things like this. Again, when First Service came in, instead of fixing leaks, they were, you can see hanging buckets up on pipes to catch the drip. They were putting buckets up in the drop ceiling to catch drips rather than properly fixing these pipes or calling in a vendor. So depending on the size of the pipe, where the pipe's located, if it's a simple, easy accessible fix, maintenance does it. If it's a big 8-inch pipe that's 15 feet long, that's cracked, we call a vendor in and have the professional do it. Again, this was lobby level. You guys had a Tupperware container up in the ceiling in the lobby, catching drips. Again, this eventually is gonna cause more problems than just fixing it properly right away. Again, I know a lot of you guys have seen this when I came into the building. Who knows how long these garage exhaust fans were sitting like this, deteriorated. This is what's helping bring fresh air in through your garage. Every single fan was in horrible deteriorated condition like this. And you can see what the louvers look like on the outside. That's inviting rats into your building, right? Having just on the side of the building, nice dark area, nice place for rats to come in and out. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what I had done to have them properly fixed and replaced. Again, in the north lobby level garage, this ductwork, you can see on the left-hand side with the arrows, all the missing ductwork. And then on the right side, when I had new ductwork put in, that was missing since Irma. That damage happened since Hurricane Irma. And the missing ductwork was sitting there for how many years? You can see that front arrow, that's exposed right up to the outside elements. And this ductwork is what's helping flow of fresh air going in and out of the FP&L bulb, where there's a big giant transformer in there that's helping give power to the building. You do not want that thing going out, trust me. So again, it's maintaining the building and maintaining it properly and having the right oversight to do this is essential for a building, especially a 50-year-old building at this age. And with First Service, there is oversight over me, making sure I'm doing my job and I'm overseeing all these departments rather than being self-managed where you have a property manager, but who's really overseeing them, right? Who's overseeing the property manager? The board? They're not able to always do that. They're not, the intentions of the board isn't to micromanage a property manager. They're supposed to let the manager manage. But again, being self-managed, there's nobody managing that manager. So with first service, I have levels and levels of people above me, watching what I do, making sure that the building's properly maintained, making sure I'm doing my job right, making sure I'm doing everything legally and doing everything that's what's right for the property. So again, one more item. This is a transfer switch on the left-hand side. This is in the main gear switch room, the lobby level, north parking garage. And these transfer switches are for the elevators. And I told this story probably a year ago, but I'll tell it again. I asked Bobby, I'm like, so what day and time does the generator auto run? Because generators are programmed to auto run once a week for about 15 minutes, just to get all the parts going, get the oil going around. And he's like, well, it doesn't. It hasn't for a long time. I was like, Bobby, what the hell? You know, if there was a power outage or a hurricane, the generator would not have auto started and supplied power to the building. So the building would have been without emergency power in that case. So yes, the first thing we did is we had Austin Electric come and they had to run new wiring from the generator in through the garage and up to these transfer switches to make sure that when there's a power loss, the building's going to get power and the elevators work. It's these kind, these things you may think that are simple, but get lost track of by maintenance or managers without having the proper oversight. And with first service, the people that are above me come in on a quarterly basis and we go through like 100-item checklist, checking all these things, checking all of our tags and permits on different components, making sure we've had our yearly inspections, making sure we've had our 5-year inspections. So again, there's the levels of oversight that are provided with first service is just, it's
Priceless.
yes, priceless. Thank you, Todd.
You share best practices. You have all that experience.
Yes, exactly. So again, big corporation, we have best practices. And then we have the hundreds of buildings in South Florida that First Service manages that we can contact those managers. Hey, what vendors are you using for this? Have you ever done this? We have all these connections through South Florida of getting information that can be provided to the board as vendors and new ideas. So it's just a huge network of information also with First Service. So part of, again, I'm relying on maintenance because maintenance is a huge item in this building. First Service does a what's called a Q&A inspection, a quality and insurance inspection on every building they manage. And when First Service first came in January of 2024, they did the inspection. It's on items in the physical plant and then also safety items. And I'll scroll through really quick. And the overall physical plant score was a 3.5 out of 5. And the overall safety score was a 2.13 out of 5. We've had 3 inspections since, and the last one with Rodney that we had, we went from all the way from a 3.5 up to a 4.7 on physical plant, and an overall safety score went up from 2.13 up to a 4.9, which really means we only missed one item on our safety. But my point being with these Q&A inspections that First Service does on a yearly basis, This is just a small list of items that any building should be doing, whether they're managed by First Service, if they're self-managed, if they're managed by another management company. This is a short list of a long list of items that the building was missing. And I put on top AED daily inspections because we all know that the requirement now is we have to have AEDs in the building, and they're supposed to be tested. I mean, I'm sorry, not tested, but inspected every single day. Make sure that the battery's still charged. Make sure when you open the door, the alarm buzzes and stuff. That daily inspection isn't a first service requirement. That's a fire marshal requirement. And something that simple required by the fire marshal was not happening because you have to keep that log in the AED compartment. And you need to initial it and date it every single day, 7 days a week for when it's being inspection, because nobody wants to run and get an AED and the battery is dead. Again, simple things, elevator machine rooms, there were no emergency shutdown procedures or no emergency contact information in there. If Rover's doing his rounds, he's up in one of the elevator rooms and he sees something funky going on with the elevator equipment up there, you know, there should have been a phone number, TKE. This is the number that you call. This is how you have to shut it down if you see that there's flames coming out of this equipment. None of that was ever posted up there. Up on the roof, we had exhaust fans that weren't properly labeled. We had non-working pressure gauges on standpipes. I don't know how that happened because that gets inspected every year. Fresh air units, no emergency shutdown procedures. I think in prior meetings, I've showed you some of the fresh air units that we changed out that were just complete rust buckets. And that's what's providing air into the common area AC units is those fresh air units. The parking garage, I just showed you those ventilation fans that were missing ductwork. Our main pump room, no inspection logs, no emergency shutdown procedures, no emergency contact information. If Rover is going around and they see our fire pump is spraying water everywhere, they don't know who to call if that information isn't posted and with clear directions on there. Same thing with the main electrical room, emergency generator. The north and south elevator machine rooms didn't have any of this information in. I'd imagine the other elevator rooms didn't have it in, but TKE was working on those elevators at the time. So yes, overall, this is what I have to share with you, kind of what we've been doing, what we're fixing kind of some of the old habits. The addition of Rodney has been great. He's taken charge of the team and he's making sure that none of this stuff continues to get the, liquid nails and paint over it. Yes, so that'll conclude my report. I'll answer any questions if anybody has any, but that concludes my report.
So I just want to thank you for going over the review in the last 2 years. It's amazing, what you've done, what you've accomplished. When we first did this journey and, we're investigating, going managed, it was a risk. And, we did, what I call field trips and, went and interviewed companies. And then we took it to the board, one by one to explain, our thoughts behind it, got the support of the board, which was amazing because we felt that we really needed your company. And you've proven from your review that, you know, you've done an amazing job and that, you know, you're righting the ship, even though we're not quite there yet, but I appreciate it. I hope that you would extend our gratefulness also to Rodney. He's our new hire. We know that he is just out there every day, you know, the spirit of the team. And whether he went down in the South Wing Saturday, he came out, you know, and even though there was nothing, you know, they could do, but he was explaining everything to anybody that wanted to know exactly what was going on. And I appreciate the action.
And certainly echo the same thing. Appreciate all the hard work. But one thing I did want to also call out that's important from having the chief as well is we can clearly see with your articulation of and images that a position like that pays for itself. And the most important thing that I think outside of, you know, the expertise that he brings in, he also brings in a lot of time management for that team. He's on top of them like a supervisor, but also doing the estimation like you would think of any contractor, where instead of having a field team go up there and do something that may take, you know, 14, 15 to 16 hours, he's questioning, okay, no, this should only take 4 hours as well. So I think we're getting hands over, you know, the value of having that type of position. And I think we're seeing immediate results of even just going from, I think, from the last, not from the first one, from 2.7 to 4.7. I think when you were even from a 4.2 in the last one to all the way down to a 4.9 something, getting it close to a 5.0, I think speaks volumes. So certainly thank you for that.
I just want to add on to my thank you. Hopefully your boat doesn't have Flex Seal underneath it, because it doesn't work. I really want to thank you for the oversight and the accountability that you give to the building and to the staff. Under self-managed, we pay our maintenance, and from tonight with this slideshow, we can clearly see that under self-managed, although it didn't cost us money for the outsourcing, we got ripped off. It's costing us twice the amount of money to do what should have been done right the first time. So even if you have in-house projects under a board that's self-managed, it's not going to work. There's always cut corners that are being cut, and I will stand by working with him for 2 years in first service and looking at those pictures, which I've seen tonight. It's appalling, and we should all be appalled that we have people working here that are treating us in a terrible way and putting us in a safety issue. Not only safety, but it's costing owners money, because these pipes that leak, and they leak into your units, if it's a main line, we as the owner of the unit have to take care of our own unit. So it costs us money for half a job. So we need to be mindful when the board comes in, that we stay focused on what's right and do what's right for our building, because we all live here. So I appreciate it. And Scott, again, I thank you, Rodney, and the rest of the crew.
Scott has his hand up first. Are you going to get up?
Are you taking?
Yeah.
I mean, if.
Yeah, for the manager's report.
Okay, I just want to comment on Todd Brown 402. Scott, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, I've taken over projects that were in bad shape. Please stick with us. We really appreciate your hard work, and we really need you in for our services. And I will say, having attended a lot of meetings about the elevator and the roof, Scott is being very diplomatic in the real condition of our building that he inherited. Not only was there a lack of regular maintenance, but a complete lack of preventative maintenance. I was shocked to find out when I was attending some roofing meetings that 2 managers ago, Marcella canceled our roof service contract. I don't know that we would need a roof right now if she hadn't canceled the service contract to save a little bit of money. And other examples that I learned about the lack of preventative maintenance that have cost us a lot of money.
That's why
The
we
elevators, for instance, should have been years ago.
right now.
And we knew that. So I want to thank the first service, and I want to thank the previous board for voting on that. and for the board members who have shown support, because I hear gossip at the beach, on the pool, that some members question, well, why do we have to have first service? A 50-year-old building must be managed by an independent third party. 20 years ago, when things were new and they weren't falling apart, you could have a self-managed building. But this is complicated stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Good evening, Brooke Barrett, 2814. As I understand this conversation, people have talked about organizational situations like managing the building, the structure of the support systems like the chief building engineer. Well, there's been another party that's been involved on and off for a few years, and that would be the Becker Law Firm and Donna Becker specifically. And I want to just read to you what she wrote to me in 2021.
Part of the agenda.
No, this has to do with this. You're talking about organization and you're saying, hey, we need this. And I'm saying, yes, we probably need to have a strong management system, but we also need to have an attorney that is going to look out for the 300 people and not the board. And I'm going to,
This would be towards the open comments and questions.
I just want to read what Donna Berger said because it speaks directly to what Scott said. It says, I would urge you not to waste your time. PDS meets the standards for a safe workplace.
What Mark is saying, if you, during
No, the
open
topic
mic,
is, and I'm
during
saying,
open mic, you can bring the law firm.
okay, so you're saying Scott can say, yes, we should have first service, and I can't say, yes, we should consider a new law firm because it has a maintenance thing. I mean, she explicitly says it's a safe workplace, and Scott's saying it was a 2.1.
You'll be able to happily open that in the discussions of the open mic at the end. Thank you. Okay. I think there's somebody online, right?
Yep, Ron.
Ron Michelle.
Yes, hi, this is Sandra Michelle, 2901. I'm driving, so I'm gonna try to concentrate both ways. So I was hearing what Scott was saying, and we appreciate very much what Scott is doing and First Service is doing, but I don't like when you're putting our maintenance team down by saying that they were doing things wrong and they were taking shortcuts. They were just following orders. And our maintenance team are the best anybody could have, and we're so lucky to have them. First Service was hired to do exactly what they should do and instructed the maintenance service what should be changed, what are they doing wrong, and to put them down and say, oh, Bobby, the transformer is not working. This should have been done. The first things that you were hired, you hired the First Service. This should have been gone through all the list that this is wrong, this is okay, this is not okay. So to put our maintenance people down just because they were following orders and they didn't know any better, it's not right. And I have a feeling that by saying all this, First Service wants to bring their own people and get rid of our maintenance service, which they know our building like the back of their palm of their hand. And they've been working there for the past more than 20 years, as I remember. And we cannot afford to lose them. And me personally, myself, I really respect them because they know a lot. And you know what? One more thing I want to say, Scott, the roof keeps leaking. Not only on my air conditioning room, that I have to come and see the water is all over the carpet and everything, but also for arts apartment. And that has been going on for a long time. And I keep asking, when are you changing the roof? When are you changing the roof? And every time there's another excuse. So I like to know if First Service is taking care of things and not neglecting things. So the roof should be a priority now that the elevators are done.
Yep.
Thank you.
And thank you. And I just did want to add, because I think, Scott, it wasn't your intention to negate the work. I think your intention, correct me if I'm wrong, was the point of oversight and leadership. Because if a person, ultimately was not being provided the correct direction, these are the types of things that are going to happen. So I think it's of the note that you wanted to display the oversight from a leadership perspective, multiple levels up of a chain of command within the organization, that we reap the benefits. It wasn't necessarily that it was the employees, but thank you.
Who was giving them direction?
Yeah.
Who was giving them
And,
direction?
and I should also add,
Yeah.
it takes maybe a couple of years for everything to be settled.
Thank you. All right, anything else?
Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you did very well.
Benjamin, did I say it right?
Can you cut her off?
Can somebody mute her?
Let's go into committee reports.
All right, moving along for the.
Wait, am I allowed to ask a question or, sorry, make a comment or?
Is it on the manager's report?
Yeah, do exactly what Scott said.
Thank you.
Who is this, David?
David.
So am I allowed? Sorry?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, perfect. So, that's that. First of all, I want to say directly to Scott, Isabella, and Kara, phenomenal job. I can see you guys working every day, every time I'm in the office. Phenomenal job. I mean, I can't even thank you enough. Regarding First Service, I mean, it's by the way, I probably didn't mention, I'm David 804. Regarding First Service, I mean, they're just doing their job, and this is what we hired. So many times when you hire an employee, to do something, they just don't do it. But First Service is actually doing the job that they're hired to do. So kudos once all the job is done, as we say, and there's still a lot of work to be done. So looking forward to for many more years to continue with this, and hopefully Sandra's issues and everybody else's issues will be resolved as we go along. So thank you very much again for everything. I just want to make an anecdote. I went up with Rodney in the elevator with a bunch of the cleaning crew, the cleaning support crew. And Rodney happened to leave the elevator, and I was left with the crew. And I asked them, what do they think about Rodney when he wasn't there anymore? And I know them for a lot longer than Rodney. And they said he is a phenomenal job. He's a phenomenal boss. So that just speaks for Rodney. The fact that he has employees that are happy to work with him, that means we're getting better results at the end of the day. So thank you very much for this, Scott. Phenomenal. Isabella, you're awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. It looks like there's one more hand. We'll take a question or answer, question or comment from Mike DeCasperis as well. And then we'll move on to committee reports.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm clear.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to echo what David and others have said. Well done, Scott. You, Isabella, Kara, are doing an excellent job, and really appreciate that. I will take you back about a year almost, okay, from now when Mark asked me to chair the Building and Grounds Committee, and then we couldn't get together on it, even though I had the committee formed to a certain extent, which included David and a couple others, because then I was given a resolution that said, okay, that the maximum that anything that we could look at was 75,000. Well, Scott, you tell me if there's anything that you just showed the pictures on that's less than 75,000. Not much of it is. Okay, so that's why I just couldn't do it, because when the committees, this is the Building Grounds Committee, this is not any other committee. This is significant expenditures that are required. Therefore, all I'm saying is that I'm recommending that for the new board to put in a Building and Grounds Committee of people that with knowledge that can help guide with Rodney, with Scott and others to make sure that our building is in the top shape that it should be. It's very important because Scott just said there's a number of issues that we could have been in very, very big trouble. there are still things that need to be addressed. That's number one. Number two is I have a question for Scott. You mentioned the AEDs. So AEDs are very important worldwide now. And what is the requirement? Do you need to put an AED on each floor? Do you need to put it in common areas, lobby? What is it?
So there isn't really a specific requirement. We actually had the fire marshal come out and tell us where he wanted to see them in the building. That's pretty much the best thing to do. That's what I did at my last building when they started requiring AEDs, was just called the fire marshal and said, hey, where do you want them? We walked the building with them, and he picks out strategic locations in the building on where to put them.
Yeah, and Scott, just as a
So
reminder,
what's the next?
I'm sorry, Mike, if I could just add to that, it'd be good to maybe send an email to the association, just directing to make people aware of where they are as well. Obviously, security knows, but just to have communications out there for that as well.
Sure.
So are they already placed, or are there more coming, or do we know where they're going?
No, they're already placed.
Okay, so there's not going to be one per floor per se.
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, moving along to committee reports, document and rules, please. Is there anything to report?
I don't really have any. I do want to say though, that
Okay, come up to the mic for those that are on Zoom, please.
Steve Ferguson, 602. I just want to say that the locations of the AEDs are listed in the rules and regulations.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
very good. Very
Perfect,
good.
thank you.
very good.
Okay, I know Heskey, you spoke about some of the financials, but from insurance and finance, is there anything else? Is Mike still on to report anything needed at this point? Okay, social committee.
Hi, I'm Lynn Kramer, and I'm the chair, and I'm in 611, and we have a little presentation.
Yep.
I thought maybe we did. So personal invitation for all of you to come to our Super Bowl party. Sunday starts at 5:30 right here in this room, and bring something that is kind of seasonal to share. And we'll have a great time. We've got lots of fun going on at the bar, and we have lots of other things to hopefully get even this TV set up. We are going to try to do some kind of a, I don't know, Starship Enterprise thing with two little things that beep to each other to see if we can get the game at two different places. So we hope to see you then at the Super Bowl game. Valentine's brunch is the following weekend on Sunday, the 15th. $35 a person. We're calling it Bubbles and Brunch. Those of you that attended last year, we have the same caterer. We're really pleased with the results that we got. Some really good food and some fun things to do. 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, the 15th. You can pay by Zelle. It's $35 a person, and it's a good way to have a little fun together. Mardi Gras then is our last happy hour with this board. February 27th, Ocean Lounge again. It's going to be, kind of a New Orleans kind of thing. So I think it's going to be fun. So those are the three things that we have going on in February. December and January events, our holiday potluck was on December the 6th. We continue to have anywhere from about 60 to 70 people. It does keep Denise on her toes as she's kind of running the bar. And we always have a special drink. And we'll continue to do that. Beach lunch fundraiser. First time we've actually called something a fundraiser. Was phenomenally exceptionally acceptable. Kudos to Rob and Todd, who sort of thought this in their mind. They said, when we were kids, we came to to this condo and we spent some time and, we always, were able to go, come in from the beach and have the lunch. We ended up, paying about, $1,200 for the food and we made about a $600 profit. So
Very good.
so it was truly a fundraiser and we're gonna do more of those. And then, New Year's Eve, big turnout with over 85 people, new format. People seem to love it. I've only heard great remarks about it. So that's our past and our present and, the financials, the last page. Thank you for the budget money. We haven't accessed it yet, but, with fundraiser and the other things that we're doing, I think that we're in, pretty good shape and are looking forward to a great, 26, 27 year. Any questions?
Thank you, Lynn.
Okay, moving along.
As co-chair, I guess. Hi, this is Reba Benavides, Apartment 1111. I really wanted to address something that's come across to me of the social committee. People think we're getting perks, we're making money on this. And what I want to explain to people is this: everybody in this building is invited to our social events, okay? Just like everybody can use the gyms, but they choose whether they want to or not, but they pay to maintain it. Everybody can use the pool, whether they choose to or not, they're still maintaining it. And you might live on the first floor and not use an elevator. But guess what? You just paid good money to fix the elevators for those people on the 29th and can't make it up. So please come to our events. They're a lot of fun. They're growing immensely. People are having fun. Come and no, we get no perks. Every occasion, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, we are paying just like you. So please come. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, moving along, there is no old business to work through. There is new business, so moving along on that. With that, the first one is Century Fire Sprinkler and Fire Pump Contract. And we'll start off, do I have a motion to approve the Century Fire Sprinkler Contract?
Motion.
For the fire retrofit program and fire pump installation in the amount of $672,800.
I will motion.
I will second. All right. Could open it up. I know this was voted on and approved as per diligence and the workshops within the committees. This is a contract that now has been finalized by legal and has been it is locked and loaded for approval by the board and eventual signature.
And we must remember that we're under a timeline by the city. We're supposed to have it done by January 2027. But if we're in the process, I understand that the city will give us, time to finish it.
Any other comments or questions by the board before we open it up? Okay, so for any questions with regards to the fire sprinkler and the fire pump contract? Okay.
Once. Right.
Okay, those in favor to approve the Century Fire Sprinkler contract for fire sprinkler retrofit and fire pump installation by Century Fire Sprinkler and Fire Pump in the amount of $672,800. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving along to the second piece of new business is to have an approval to send Advanced Roofing Incorporated a letter of intent. Do I have a motion?
I will motion.
I'll second.
Okay, opening it up. I know, based once again, multiple open dialogue meetings internally as the board, as well as workshops, committee workshops. to review all the vendors, including having an open meeting with Duhan Roofing Consultants. We as a board, and as Heskey noted, based on the three quotes that were provided, this one was the middle one, and we felt is the best suited for our building. So just opening it up for any other board comments, questions.
I'd like to thank Alex and Bill for all the hard work they did on this.
On that committee.
Mr. President.
That's all right.
Sorry. But it takes a lot to understand what they're talking about in terms of nuts and bolts and scuppers and drainage and all that. So some people, just like David had said, are experienced, or Mike DeCapra, sorry. You know, some people are more experienced in this, and we're a 4 to 7. So these three guys, picked it up, then they put it down the layman's terms for the rest of us, like Mark said, to get all this information between town halls and, and everything that we went through. So I appreciate all the effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any question, comment?
Sure. The first question I have is regarding the walk pads on the roof. I feel strongly that we should put walk pads on the roof. And I would just like to hear some commentary as to where the board thinks they're going in the letter of intent with respect to those protective walkway pads. Second question I have has to do with the tapered insulation system. And I feel neutral, meaning I don't feel strongly one way or the other. But I will observe that we had 2 engineers recommend the tapered insulation system. And I know that I've actually probably done a dozen projects with tapered insulation. So I'd like to hear from the board. I understand that it's cheaper not to do the tapered insulation, but I would just like to hear the other factors that are driving the board to not use it, besides the fact of the thickness of the tapered insulation. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah, hello? All right, regarding the tapered insulation, this roof was built with tapered concrete slab, a very minute tapered slab. The distance between the drain and the furthest point is 90 feet. If you go a 1/4 inch, the high point will be 24 inches of insulation that you would need to get a proper pitch to the drain. And this is the way this job has been done for the past 3 times. That answers that question. In regards to the walkway pads, the contract requires all walkway pads are on all mechanical units. And we have to designate any walkway areas that we want to install walkway pads. So that takes care of that issue. Was there anything else? Walkway pads and taper installation?
I think those are 2.
That's it? All right.
Can you come back up then?
back up, bro.
Just so the folks on Zoom can hear it.
I'm kind of like the iguana with the cold weather. I move slowly, Mark. Okay, I guess my question is, without getting into the whole slopage, as I say, I've seen these done around the country. So what are we losing by not doing them? Like presumably with tapered insulation during a storm, the water's going to get off the roof quicker, because there's got to be some reasons not everybody else, but we did have 2 engineers recommend it, and I've done it 2 dozen times. And I'd like to think that the 2 dozen times that I did it, I wasn't just wasting the client's money. So there must be some advantage to it. So I guess I'm wondering, what is the downside, and let's be visible about it. Because quite frankly, somebody said, hey, it's a great idea to decommission the heater. And it turns out that it might not have been the best. So I think that we should just have a discussion and say, okay, what are we losing by not using the tapered insulation?
You have 2 feet of insulation. You ever do a roof with 2 feet of insulation? I don't think so. So that's the purpose. The only way to resolve this would have to put additional drainage, and we would have to run new pipes within each apartment, going down to cut the distance between the drain and the furthest point. So if you take a 1/4 inch, so every 4 feet, that's 1 inch. So if you divide that by 90, you're talking 24 inches of insulation, and it's not feasible. Even the engineers said it's not feasible. So they don't even look at the survey. So they just put a specific, a new construction. I agree, tapered insulation is the way to go, but they take that into consideration when they built the building. This building, when it was built, it was not built for tapered insulation. It was built for rigid insulation. That's the way it's been done for 3 years, for 3 times for the past 50 years.
Okay,
Well, I have a question, and it's just a general question. When we move into the next phase, which is coming next, since we do have an engineer in the building, I'd like to recommend that we include Rafi in those meetings, since, he's got deep backgrounds in them. So, I don't think anybody would object to that.
You'd be welcome.
I agree.
You'd be welcome.
Definitely.
Yeah, and a couple of points just to clarify when we go through the vote for the approval of the letter of intent. This is ultimately, now that we feel comfortable with, they're the teams, there are things that they still have questions on to finalize. The letter of intent will be obviously a zero value with no notes on that. And then second thing with the motion that for them to move forward, but we will also still, as a board of directors, and I would expect the next board, should it come, after a couple of weeks, that will hold a special meeting to approve the contract as well. So I think there's 2 phases here, letter of intent, and then a special board meeting, unless it happens at the regular board meeting, is to then approve the contract as well.
Okay.
Any
Yeah, I'm Sean Flynn, I'm 110. Mark, I just want to respond to your last comment. I would encourage this board to do everything they can to approve this. When we had the concrete, the new board came in, we got new quotes, went up by $900,000. To open this up again, people have different ideas. We have no way of who's coming in. You've done all this work, it's a goal line. Hope a new board doesn't.
you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so the goal would be, as Mark stated, as soon as there's a contract finalized between the association and Advanced Roofing, that we would hold the special meeting to approve it. So it may not be at the normal 3rd, 4th Tuesday of the month, just because we want to get going on this, because, it does take time for them to get materials and stuff. So, I mean, if we could have part of the roof finished before rainy season starts, that it'd benefit everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you have any questions? So with that, to approve, to send Advanced Roofing Incorporated a letter of intent, zero value, and then also noting that there would be a special meeting to approve the final contract. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving along, opening up as per Florida statutes within the agenda as well for any owner questions or comments. Lynn.
The social committee has a question, and it has to do with, we originally had thought that we would have a yoga program in place by now. We understand that the yoga program was not approved, but it's only hearsay. We have a question about why we wouldn't approve that program when I've talked about it a couple of times in a couple of meetings. Can we open it up and find out why that was not approved?
And if it was not approved,
So
we don't know, but we have somebody coming in.
Formally go through the approval process as a board meeting. It is an insurance and liability concern. So I don't know
Okay.
if there's anything else.
Just to give you a little background history, I do believe we want to be a premier building here on the Galt Ocean Mile. The Hermitage does, and they are first service. The Hermitage has water aerobics. They have Pilates. Buildings have them. La Solis Grand, another first service building, they have it. What we were told originally before Thanksgiving, when this all began, was that we needed for her to give us a waiver of, like a workers' comp waiver and whatnot, to cover the insurance. Every person that would be using the class would have to sign a waiver. The social committee will not be handling any monies. The monies will go directly from the residents who are joining the class right to the yoga instructor. So I see no liability that's any different of our people using our pool, of our using any of our stuff out here. So I don't understand the insurance liability. We put her through the cost of becoming an LLC so she could get the waiver for the workman's comp because she's the only one that's doing it. We were told the papers were fine. This woman thinks that she's starting to come to work and we're like at a standstill and nobody talks to us.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. No problem.
Can you just confirm the liability with Tim and see if there's any difference with Hermitage?
Yes, check with Hermitage, see what papers they need or what they have, but we know for a fact. Because I hope to improve this program from not just a yoga program. She's willing to do chair yoga and regular, same time, because we have a lot of seniors. She is also able to do water aerobics, which is something most people love. I mean, we want to be a premier building.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I say one other thing?
Yes.
The person who is in charge of this program at the Hermitage is somebody that most of us know, Gary Ledbetter. He used to live in this building. And he told me that he has both of these programs. He has water aerobics and he has yoga. And I asked him what kind of insurance and what kind of problems. And he said it didn't even go to the board for approval because the person that's doing it has the insurance. Our person has already submitted the insurance, including the workers' comp waiver. And we thought we were ready to go and had arranged with her to start next Tuesday. But
I don't know much about it.
so would you consider it, please? Because we think this could be.
Scott, if you could move forward, just get a little more.
Yeah, why not?
I'll go with you.
I have no problem.
Okay.
Why not?
Thank you. Please, Brooke.
Good evening. The board, as I understood it, sent a letter out to all the homeowners that addressed the derivative suit and that even strongly affirmed the fact that the board felt very comfortable and strong, which included a sanction against one of our homeowners. And I just really feel after watching Donna Berger and Becker for the last few years that they've consistently defended the small clique of the board at times with things that were contrary to the interests of the larger groups. And I gave you that example where I read where Donna Berger explicitly said how safe the building was relative to OSHA. And I think Scott would agree, I could be wrong, that if we didn't have the ability to have fans move fresh air, that the employees working in the CO2 rich environment didn't have really full OSHA protections. And the score was 2.1. And I think that if our score was 2.1 and the attorney wrote a letter to the homeowner, me, and said, hey, this building is safe. And if you talk to any of the board members directly by email, in passing, or in any other means, I will go fine you and take away your privileges. I just don't think that that attorney is serving us well. And I really think that it seems to me like we protect our sub-consultants and consultants like children and treat the homeowners like enemies. And I just don't think that's right, because I just wish that some of the effort that went to the derivative suit had gone to considering litigation against Terry Delatato or whatever her name was, because it appears to me that she made gross misrepresentations to the board. So I really think that we need to revisit how it is we're getting legal advice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
Next.
Fred Fike of Unit 1010. First of all, thank you to the board. You're compensated with aggravation as far as I can tell, so appreciate that.
If you could just speak up.
I should talk really loud after saying that. Want me to repeat it? I don't want to use up my time. Okay. Second, I agree that Scott, Rodney, and Bobby should all be in the PDS Hall of Fame. They're all indispensable. If anything happens, And I don't think any of that was a knock on Bobby, honestly. It wasn't like he was running wild with shoelaces doing things. I didn't interpret it that. Finally, I've been living here very happy since June 2021. Great neighbors, safe building, clean, my opinion. I've lived a lot of other places, currently arguably still do. And this is the flagship. Maintenance has doubled since I moved in. I don't understand why. Those projects are essential. I can afford it. I'm concerned about some other people who be getting forced out. And I think we should really rethink beautification projects. We have a lot of other projects that are still coming. A lot has to do with the way the questions are asked. Would you like sprinklers in the pool? Would you like a running track on top of the garage roof? If you ask the question the other way, people actually use the pool a lot. Are you happy how it is? Are you able to do your laps? Are you able to socialize? Everybody has their own agenda. If you ask ChatGPT, what would happen if you put a running track on this particular roof? I asked it in an unbiased way, so close to the ocean. It said it would increase the cost of the project, decrease the duration of the project. And let's think about the people who are directly in line with what's going on there. People who specifically moved in for peace, enjoy the view, enjoy the ocean. So I really think we should rethink in this kind of time where money is at a premium and we really care about our neighbors, whether we really want to embark on these beautification projects. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along, are there any more? Yes?
Just a quick comment, Carol Gambello, Unit 1116. So we have, I don't want to say stay because that's not right. We have time still for the other addendums to be voted on, correct?
You mean the contract?
No, the things that
No, the
didn't pass today.
So there is no,
You gotta make new ones.
No, we have to
yeah,
do
we'd
it
have to,
again.
we'd have to start all over again.
We have to start all over again. Okay, I have one request. I think that I'm reasonably intelligent. I had to read those things about 5 times. So when they're sent out again, can you have a layperson write them and not some legal, and I think that's why they didn't pass, because at the last meeting, there was a woman here, she kept asking questions, thinking that she was gonna be paying for her neighbor's windows. And I think a lot of people still believe that because you read that question. For people to agree to the other 2 items of maintenance and not the windows, I think tells you that they're really poorly written.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Hi, Lorraine Martino, 506. So my concern, and it's been, for quite a while, when we purchased our condo here, we signed a contract. And in the contract, it stated we had to list everybody that would possibly be using our apartment when I was not here. And if it was anybody other than that, I would have to be present at the time that the apartment was being used. I feel that our staff that's up front doesn't check anybody to see who's coming in this building. And I think that we need to address that situation immediately. The fobs are not working. Maybe it's facial recognition, or they need to know what their job description is. Because I came in one night, I had no idea who the person was at the desk. And I said to Lorraine Martino, 506. She said, well, do I have a newspaper for you or something? I said, no, I'm just telling you that I'm 506 and I'm coming into the building. She said, all right. But I think I've had 2 instances where people came to my apartment, they didn't even belong into the building. And I think that that needs to be addressed.
So Scott, can you readdress that and have a discussion during your weekly stand-up?
That's exactly right.
His project.
Okay.
All right, what else? That's it.
Any questions on mine? I think there's a hand up. Mike DeGasperis.
Yes, thank you, Mark. I do apologize. I was in another meeting, so I missed the first part of the meeting. So I didn't realize, I just heard now that the results were already announced for the voting. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you quickly tell me what was approved, what was not approved, please?
So the vote was not have enough votes.
Percentage.
Windows did not.
The percentage. Yeah, so Mike, nothing really passed through the whole
So
process.
nothing passed. So as Scott very well knows, I wrote him an email yesterday or day before, I believe it was, with respect to what was just described right now. It was very, very poorly written. Too many things were amalgamated in the same resolutions. And I think I'm a pretty smart guy as well, okay? And I've been on many boards and I've written many resolutions myself. But the way it was put out was wrong. And the reason it was wrong is because there's too many different items on the same resolutions. So I would agree with some stuff, okay, but not with other stuff within the same resolution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So certainly we're here and it sounds like the next board will actually, review these and move forward again.
Yeah, just Michael, real quick, it was items 3 and 4 were the 2 out of the, 5 items that passed. And without the impact windows requirement passing, those 2 items that did pass is pretty much a moot point right now.
Well, that's great, Scott, because it's the only 2 that I did approve myself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so do I have a motion to?
Another hand, Mark.
Oh, there's another hand. Sorry about that.
Last question.
Mark, you keep
Last
forgetting
question.
about me. What's going on?
Good to go.
All right, sorry. So first of all, I have to agree with what Carol said and what Michael just mentioned. Definitely need better wording. I passed through engineering school and this was a little tougher to understand. So definitely need a better wording. Second thing regarding what Michael mentioned before with AEDs and regarding what Scott mentioned for procedures and all the guidelines that they're setting up and building basically from scratch because we've never had those. Scott, I wanted to ask if you happen, I'll ask it actually in a nicer way. If you happen to quit tomorrow and on the same day, Isabella and Kara said, we've had enough with this building and the whole management, the whole admin team is done. Is there anybody else who knows all this wonderful, amazing work that you've worked on? And I truly think this is incredible. You guys are doing this. This is the ABC of engineering. So that's phenomenal. You're doing this. Is there anybody else who would know? Or I'll ask it even a different way. If there's a hurricane that comes and you're not making it to the building and nobody else is making it to the building, will I, as somebody who will be here, will live in the building, know what to do?
So we have a regional director, Joe Snell. He's not in today's meeting, but he comes to a lot of the meetings and you'll see him popping in and out of the building. Yes, if for some reason I were not to show up tomorrow because I disappeared somewhere.
You won the lottery.
Yeah, I won the lottery, yes. Joe is quite familiar with the property and the current board, and he'd be able to sit in until a replacement was found. And same thing if Isabella won the lottery tomorrow and didn't show up, yes, Joe would be able to sit in and help. So yes, we do, through First Service, we do have people that can sit in.
So First Service has it in store somewhere. It's not something accessible for anybody in the building. It's not like on Building Link or anything like that.
No, so I mean, like I said, if I were to just quit after tonight and not come in tomorrow, Joe
Please
Snell,
don't, but yeah.
Joe Snell, the regional director, would come in and sit at the property on a daily basis until a proper replacement was found.
Okay. So, and another question regarding the fire solution that you guys mentioned, just trying to understand quickly what's going to happen, because we had someone come and visit the apartment for speakers regarding fire system that they're going to install. Can someone give us the guidelines of what's about to happen in the next future, just so we know what to expect? please.
Yeah, once we get a schedule and a formal project plan, those things will be communicated. Right now, they were just looking at the assessments for best entryway paths into the units to get a sort of like an average for all the units for, through the contracting period. So there will certainly be ample notice on what will be the expectations, what will be the timeframes, very similar to the concrete restoration process.
Solid. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just if I could just add to that real quick. So there's gonna be a sprinkler head that's gonna be put in above your front door. There's gonna be speakers put into every single one of all the bedrooms, living room, probably kitchen. And then, there's going to be smoke detectors are required to be in all the rooms as well.
Is the smoke detector system going to be connected for the whole building or each unit on its own?
No, they'll be battery operated.
Hardwired now. There's one hardwire.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one
No, that's not my question. So each unit right now, if you have Nest, you bought your own Nest, you connect them all together, that's wonderful. The question is, if one unit goes off, will it be connected to the building's main? So, no. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So do I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:21?
I will motion.
All right, those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Great night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I think that